I actually have always seen this film on I actually seen it when I worked at Blockbuster. So this is how old this one is. I seen it on the shelves, never picked it up. Um, Gets a higher rating than Outpost 11, and that is The Divide, directed by Xavier
Right.
Gens, writers Carl Muller, Aaron Sheen, starred Lauren German, very, very young too, uh, Michael Bean, Milo Bint-Magali. Uh, this is another bunker-based type of film. It had Ashton Holmes in it as well, Ivan Gonzalez, Rosanna Arquette as Maryland in there, Michael Eklund. This film, though, is basically about a survivors of a post-apocalyptic nuclear disaster, and they're basically thrown into their apartment basement that's basically been fitted into a bunker. And again, just like Outpost 11, this is basically what would happen to most, given the isolationism of having to stay years underground waiting out a nuclear winter. This was probably one of my favorite films. I actually found this one before I found Outpost 11. This film is insane. So, for those of you who have never seen it in my audience, the survivors of this movie start to basically eat each other. They fight over food, they fight over the
Yeah.
basic essentials of everything. One of my favorite things, too, is that it had basically, of course, Hicks from Aliens 2. Which, you know, I actually didn't even. I call him Hicks. I will
Kyle
always call
Reese.
him Hicks. Kyle Reese. Yeah, Kyle Reese.
Yeah.
And let's be honest. He's fucking Kyle Reese. He's Hicks. The man never has to make another dollar because as long as everyone keeps saying "Come with me if you want to live," that man
He'll
makes
live.
money
Yeah.
every single time. And that's not lying. He really does own
He really
that
does.
saying. He owns the saying, "Come with me if you want to
Over
live."
Schwarzenegger. Yeah, over
Yes. Oh,
Schwarzenegger.
yes. He really does, which is hilarious. But again, he is basically the owner of this bunker too, and these people are just trying to run ragged over him and just
Yes.
take. I mean, talk about putting the wrong people in a bunker together. I mean, and then there's basically gang rape. There's you
Yeah.
know
Oh,
there's manipulation. There's cannibalism. There's child abduction. There's every horrific thing you can imagine and everything that can go wrong in a bunker type environment in this film, to the point of where they start getting actually radiation poisoning and they just start to look like the Hills Have Eyes people. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you
Pretty
see.
much.
Did
Yeah.
you see this film, Steve?
I did. I did
So
see
did
this
you
film.
see when
I.
they start shaving their heads, and it reminded me of the episode from Always Sunny when because they started saying it's the hair, and I was like, oh my
Yeah.
god, it's like Frank when he's like,
I just wanna be pure.
Well, kind of when they're all just like shaving madly. I was just like, I remember seeing this film a long, long time ago in the early 2000s, kind of briefly, but not knowing what it was, and then now actually sitting down and watching the film. It's a lot grittier than the last one we just talked
right,
about. It's like super. I don't even know what to say, Rob. Like it's got that stylistic, like you know what I mean, like the early 2000 2010s. They had that kind of weird thriller horror type of vibe. And I got it from the woman in the film. Most of all, I forget her name. I think her name was Eva, right?
Eva, yeah,
Uh, Eva, yeah, her.
she was actually
Uh,
kind of a lame duck character, not to lie.
yeah, like I felt like that type of character though would exist in these bunkers. Like you know what I mean? Like as far as what's going on
Right,
around what's happening, like Rob said, you've got murder, you've got like yeah, child abduction is happening. There is obviously rape. There's you know what I mean. That all spins all
cannibalism,
together, and this like
starvation.
yeah, starvation, cannibalism. It's like what happens if all the world's greatest atrocities that human can do to another human being just happens in this tight, close knit space that you have to deal with. You know what I mean? You can't run from it. You got basically Michael Bean being the guy in charge, but then kind of really not though. Like
He
he is.
basically runs in there and says, "Come with me if you want to live." No, that does not happen,
It
but
doesn't,
it
but
should have.
it should have. Yeah. Yeah.
But you know,
Well,
it's one of those films now that I think, though, Steve. Sorry to cut you off. That I just want to add to what you're saying. Is kind of, I think, really ahead of its time in the fact that it just boom, you're off into the action too. There's no setup, there's nothing to know. It's just boom, bombs, boom, 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 boom. Oh my God, rush into the bunker, and then it's like crap. This roller coaster nightmare starts, and that's why it was very appealing to me. Like I said, you go through a lot of the rough to find those diamonds, and I think this was another one that on Tubi again, I might add,
Yeah.
was very good. I actually recommend it.
What do you think about the ending, Rob? I wanted to talk to you about the ending.
Okay, the ending is a little conflicting. I won't lie. So, spoilers, my audience, on the ending.
Right? Yeah. Spoilers.
So the ending is strange because basically Eva locks okay, first of all, everyone in there, including her boyfriend, drives me mad when he accidentally they try to get a gun, and everything that could go wrong goes wrong, shoots the wrong guy, blah 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 blah. But basically, it gets to a situation where the bad guy is shot. He's dying. He grabs a gasoline torch lamp, and I already knew it was coming. I'm watching it, screaming, "Do not let this asshole win! Shoot him! Shoot him! Shoot him!" And he's just and just blows this thing up. And what do you know? Eva, seeing the rest of everybody, in the blaze, locks them all in and then leaves. Takes the last radioactive suit, but excuse me. Even though I said to myself, she's gonna die, because we both know you ain't gonna live. She had radiation poison already because her hair was falling out, and the world, everyone knows you have to be underground for almost 100 years before you can even venture out.
Or you can even breathe, and that's even a possibility with radiation.
Right. So it was like kind of a lackluster ending, but when I was watching it, I was like, fuck, she just fucking went, fuck you all, and just killed him. But then I was like, no one was being good to her, though. You know what I mean? She was kind of like,
everybody was being kind of like a scapegoat to her, and then her boyfriend's terrible. The dude, what the other guy tried to paper.
Michael Biehn was a dick, trying to manipulate her.
Yeah, so it's like, what is she gonna do? You're gonna take your chances trying to, like he's trying to do,
Right. So, I actually give The Divide a 7.
Same.
I give it a 7. I think it's a decent watch. It's a film that you don't have to see, but if you're in the mood to watch those post-apocalyptic, colony-based bunker films, that's going to be the one for you, my audience. Different than Outpost 11, because they're the same, but they're not. Outpost 11 is, like Steve said, is a little bit more steampunky, a little bit more dystopian type film.